Now, I don't say this often.
I don't say this often.
Now, I don't say this often. He's going to be a wild card in the league. Welcome back to the Wildcards Podcast. I'm glad everyone's here joining us today. I'm one of your hosts, Coleman Madlin. I'm joined here today with my two fellow co-hosts.
You already know, it's your boy, Joshua Sykes.
And it's Brandon Harkey.
Yep, we're all here. We're back. New apartments for some of us.
Hurricane coming in close.
Yep, hurricanes. Dahlia's coming right on top of me. But we're going to get started with the news. So, Jonathon Taylor, not traded. Josh, you want to talk more about that?
I'm just kind of surprised they didn't trade him, to be honest. Like, I was looking at the Dolphins as a good trade partner, and the Chiefs as well. They kind of need a running back at this point. I mean, they have Pacheco, but you got somebody of the caliber of Jonathon Taylor. I mean, not 2 years removed of his legendary season. But he will miss the first 4 games as he is on the PUP list for the Indianapolis Colts. So, I don't know. I think Indianapolis could have got something good out of him. And I don't think he's going to want to play their long haul anyway. So, I would have traded him.
All right. Brandon, thoughts on that?
I understand why they didn't trade him because Jonathon Taylor is a star player and they weren't getting star players back or they weren't getting the first round pick that they want. And so I think, truthfully, Jonathon Taylor is hurting his career because he is somewhat young, still young, in his prime almost, because running backs don't last that long because of injuries. And I think this is not good for Jonathon Taylor. And I respect the Colts for holding out, and keeping him on the PUP list, If he doesn't want to play there, he's not going to play.
I know, but they're not going to get anything out of him eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just going to leave.
I think that this past year, his value was at an all-time high.
Right, and now that he's, crying like a baby, bro, he's not going to play anywhere.
For a team that's like kind of in rebuilding mode, they're definitely not, competing for anything. I think that that could have been a time where they could have loaded up on picks for the upcoming years when they, inevitably get better, players, better all this stuff. But it is what it is.
I think the not having Jonathon Taylor also improves Anthony Richardson's run game just a little bit, because now that he doesn't have a star running back to take carries away from him, he'll have more opportunity to showcase his true potential.
Yeah, but that also means there's more pressure on him. He doesn't have the option to
It's he doesn't have that option to rely on a good running back.
Yeah, which I think will be good for his career, but it's definitely not good for
It's definitely not good to start with.
Yeah,
I think it's good for him.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Anthony Richardson run for 2 touchdowns and throw 3 picks a game. It'd be amazing.
Okay, this is the Kentucky fan.
It's better than what Will Levis will be doing. 500 claps.
Ooh,
man.
Yeah, he's averaging 5 claps.
Hey, did Anthony Richardson ever beat Will Levis? Let's answer that question real quick.
I don't know. I'm not
He didn't. Let me just put it that way. He did not. He did not.
Anthony Richardson
is Will Levis's son. Okay.
All right, well, there we have it. Moving on. We got Josh Jacobs. He signed a 1-year, $12 million contract with the Raiders. Decent. I was surprised that it was up to $12 million. Obviously, Josh Jacobs, really great running back, great talent. But, he's kind of, this is as good as it's going to get for Josh Jacobs. He's not going to get any better, in my opinion, in terms of how
last year.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to get any better, in my opinion. Do you guys disagree?
I think he's going to get a lot more touches this year. Who you gonna trust Jimmy Garoppolo? Let's be real.
I think he's a system quarterback. I trust him to do it. Take the Raiders as far as they're poised to go. But yeah, definitely not anything else. But anyway, Josh Jacobs signed a 1-year, $12 million contract with the Raiders. Kind of high considering the running back market, especially with all the other stars, Jonathon Taylor, Dalvin Cook, all the drama surrounding that. Dalvin Cook signing a smaller deal with the Jets.
Saquon.
Yeah, for sure.
Who do you think's better, Saquon or Josh Jacobs?
Saquon. Pure talent. I don't think it's a question, in my opinion. Right. I don't think it's even up for debate. But in terms of the situation and how things have played out, I definitely think that Josh Jacobs it's up. There's a debate that could be had. Could be made either side. What do you think, Josh and Brandon? Who's better?
I think if you were to like switch their positions, I think put Saquon on the Raiders, Josh Jacobs on the Giants. I think Saquon is better in both situations. So I think Saquon's better.
Yeah,
I agree.
good.
I'm just
good.
glad, I'm just glad Josh Jacobs decided to sign that contract because I did pick him in a fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
And did not knowing, and I was praying, bro. I was like, please let this boy play.
Yeah,
everybody thought I was stupid, but
now his situation is set in stone. And speaking of fantasy football, we have a few announcements to make later in the video. If you watched the last podcast, you'll know. But yeah, let's move on. The Vikings, my Minnesota Vikings, are making an effort to sign Justin Jefferson to a record-breaking extension before Week 1. So this is going to have to come up in the next week or so. Obviously, I mean, I don't think. I mean, we had a little bit of a debate about it last time, but in my opinion, undoubtedly the best receiver in the NFL. I just don't see how there's anyone else. I mean, he's consensus number one fantasy football pick. He's going to have the most points.
I have a question for you. How much money are we talking here, extension wise?
I think that he's going to be we saw the Justin Herbert and the Jalen Hurts setting the new QB market in terms of contracts. I really think that this could be a really pivotal moment in the wide receiver market. As for an exact number,
Give me a number.
I mean, it would depend on how long the Vikings really want to keep him, which would be as long as they can. I think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to try. I mean, in my opinion, I think this is the last year that they can kind of. Well, we're getting to the end of where we can actually contend with like money wise and the star wise, unless they do an outstanding job. I was about to say transfer portal, but in the trade market and get a few guys in there and also drafting. Unless there's like an outstanding job done in that department, I really think that the Vikings have 1 or 2 more years. Well, only one with Kirk Cousins. I think they let go of him after this year, but I really think that because of that, I think that the Vikings need to push the money. They don't need to push the money back. They can give him the money now. They don't need to have they can kind of do what they're doing in Minnesota with Cat. They don't need to do that where they have the money get like more expensive each year that they pay him. They can just pay him out right now.
They might have like no future, right?
They'll have no future, but they can pay the guy. And I think that sets up. I think that, and that sounds weird coming from someone who's a fan, but I think that will set up nicely for the latter years of the contracts, where he'll be at near the end of his prime. I think that sets up really nice for when the Vikings are done with their rebuild, which I think they'll do a competitive rebuild or attempt to.
Will they ever be done with the rebuild, though? Let's be real.
Okay, sure. You could say that a team like the Vikings have never finished their rebuild. They've been in a constant rebuild. But I mean, I don't know. I think the Kirk Cousins era is coming to an end, and I think things will dramatically shift in the next couple of years. And it's good to secure a guy like Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL, for those years.
So if Justin Jefferson, let's just call it, I don't know. I'm just gonna
1,900 yards.
I don't know if it's realistic, but let's say $200 million for 5 years. Let's just call it that. I just call it that. I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know exactly how that would go, but
it's the math.
How much would the Bengals have to play Jamar Chase, which is a better receiver?
Oh my!
What?
Okay, yeah, okay. Now Brennan's agreeing with me. Come on, man. So right now, Tyreek Hill, I think, is the highest paid.
Tyreek Hill makes $30 million.
Yeah.
So he has to make more than that. He make $31 million.
Okay.
I mean, 35. Call it 35.
I think it's going to be in between 35 and 40. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be 36, 37.
It have to be to stay in Minnesota. And
it's going to be
a losing team for a while.
It's going to be 37 and a half. That's my prediction for 4 years. 37 and a half for 4 years. That's.
I mean, let's be real. If you think
70, that's 150. 150 million, 37 and a half. Wait, what's 37.5 times?
37.5 times 5
times 4 is 150. Okay, I was right. Yeah, so I think that's a realistic contract.
Yeah.
150 million. Has a receiver ever gotten that at one point? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Larry Fitzgerald got 180 million total. Justin Jefferson will easily surpass that.
But yeah, that will be inflation.
This will be the biggest wide receiver contract. Yeah, I don't even think there's a doubt. It should be. Yeah, he has the most production out of any receiver.
Until Jamar Chase comes up for it, but
until he comes up and gets
I'm just kidding.
$5.
But at least Jamar has a franchise quarterback. You just said Kirk Cousins out after next year. Who's going to be your quarterback?
That's my prediction. Exactly. It's just going to be a few guys until we tank enough to get a really good pick.
That'd be my question. If I'm Justin Jefferson, money's great, but winning's better for me at that point.
Okay. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Minnesota sports. If you allow me, I think that it's not talked about enough that Anthony Edwards and Justin Jefferson are two of the most.
I will say Anthony Edwards has grown on me with this USA performance.
He's really cool, dude, and we'll get on that. We can talk about FIBA in a bit. USA has been playing pretty well with Austin Reeves, but I will say I think that it's not talked about enough that Minnesota has these two stars that are probably top three of like young players in their respective leagues. Justin Jefferson. How old is Justin Jefferson? He's like 24, yeah, and then Ant's 22. I mean, these guys are 24 or 20, under 25 years old, and they're, franchise players. Like Ant's a top 3 shooting guard, and Justin Jefferson is the number 1 receiver. I think it's not talked about. Josh looked at me. You don't think? Okay, who?
Top 3? That's
top
crazy.
3 shooting guard. Who's better? It's D Book, D Mitch, and then Ant. That's not ridiculous to say that, and you're struggling to find a name who's better because you can't.
I think you may be top 5.
Oh, who's better out of those besides those 2 guys?
I don't know. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you.
Okay, sure. Let's move on because we're kind of getting on a tangent here. But I wanted to say that it is interesting how Minnesota, they don't get a lot of media attention because of their population, because we suck at everything we do. But I think it's nice that we have those 2 guys, and I don't think it's talked about enough. But yeah, as for contract, it's going to be record-setting. My prediction, lock it in, 37.5 a year for 4 years, 150 mil. What about you guys? Yep. More or less, Brendan?
I think that's the right amount. Probably more with another year added on.
You think? Okay.
Especially if they're going to tell him that Kirk's out, I think it has to be more.
Yeah, I don't think Kirk's gone.
You don't think Kirk's gone?
He's going to be sacrificing winning.
Kirk, I mean, his contract's done after this year. They could extend him. I mean, I think he's tied for the second oldest quarterback in the league. Like a couple other guys are the same age, but I think the only older one is who am I?
I think they're definitely going to figure out a long-term solution.
Only older one is Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers is a bit older.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's tied. Yeah, it's like him and then, the name's blanking. But he's definitely getting up there in age, and I think he should be gone. In my opinion, I love him. All right, I love Kirk Cousins. But he's not the guy for the future. I mean, he's old, man.
I don't think he's ever been that guy.
He's that guy.
Well, let's just move on to Jerry Jeudy. He's out with that hamstring injury, I believe, due to miss several weeks. I think they said 3 to 4.
So that means Cortland Sutton's going to have to step up in the starting role.
Cortland Sutton stepping up. They have Greg Dulcich. Javonte Williams is coming back from an ACL tear. I heard he's looking good, though. So, and they got
That's hard to do, man, coming back from a major injury like that. The only other one that would be worse than that would be Achilles.
Josh, Brandon, I need your full attention here. We have a few Heisman candidates. The obvious choice.
Is it college football season, baby?
It is college football season.
Oh my God!
It is. Week 0 just happened. It is that time of year. I mean, it's my favorite type of year.
It's the most wonderful time.
If you guys had to pick someone who's going to win the Heisman besides Caleb Williams, who of course won it last year and has the best odds this year, who would it be to win Heisman?
Y'all go ahead. No, y'all go ahead.
You got it, Josh.
No, I'm asking the question. Josh and Brandon, you have to answer.
Great, Brandon. We're not going to pick the same person, so it doesn't matter.
I'm going with 2 people. Honestly, I could go with 3, but one of them's
Dang, is it going to be a 3-way tie?
Only one person can win it, so let's pick one here. And then give the other options, too, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Drake May. That's my dark horse.
Oh, dark horse? What do you mean? He's like a favorite.
He's a favorite.
Oh, he's not. I'm looking at the list right here.
Yeah, he's a favorite.
Yeah, he's a favorite. He's not the favorite.
I guarantee my guy's not even on the list.
He's not a dark horse.
I think J.J. McCarthy has a good year, but I don't think he wins Heisman.
Yeah.
I think Jaden Daniels also has a good year for LSU, like he's supposed to, but I don't think he wins it. Honestly, I don't even think Caleb Williams. I don't know. I don't think he's winning it. Anyone but Caleb Williams. Maybe 30-year-old Bo Nix can win it for the one time.
I don't think Cade Klubnik's going to win it because Clemson plays a lot of people. So
I think well, it's just hard. I mean, honestly, the best person is probably Jordan Travis, just because the ACC is like not as.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that
it's like the SEC is like. Honestly, I was thinking about it the other day. The SEC is like playing in the NFL, or like the ACC. I mean, it's good, but
it's like playing high school.
Right.
And I mean, the Clemson, like you could argue that FSU and Clemson schedules are comparable because they both have games. They play each other, of course. Clemson plays Notre Dame. FSU plays LSU. There's like some hard games, but I think overall FSU's schedule is slightly more manageable. And because of that, I'm going to make the bold claim that Jordan Travis has the best odds to win the Heisman. Not like obvious, but I think he has really good odds. And because of the weapons he has around him, I'm not just saying this as an FSU student who, I am an FSU student. All right, and may sound a little biased, but I think he has the best odds because of the weapons he has around him. He has 6'6" Johnny Wilson. He has Keon Coleman, the best player in Michigan State that transferred from last year in the transfer portal. Then you have who else? You have Jaheim Bell, transferred from South Carolina, huge guy. I mean, you also
have a great defense. That means you're going to win a lot of games, make you look better.
Exactly, because winning is a quarterback stat in the eyes of the Heisman Committee. All right, I don't know necessarily if I agree with it, but I think it is.
Oh no, because who won last year? Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams.
He lost to Utah. He lost to Utah twice.
Yeah, it's still. I don't think.
Yeah, but he still won a lot of games.
Still won a lot of games. It's not like you have an 8-4 team who has players.
It's not like you went 4-8 and won the Heisman, bro. Come on, my guy.
I think Jordan Travis and FSU have to have a perfect season and can only lose one game in order for Jordan Travis to win.
And the game has to be either LSU or Clemson. It can't be.
It just has to be LSU.
Or maybe not even Clemson. It has to be LSU, and then they have to beat Clemson both in the regular season and the ACC.
And they have to beat North Carolina, bro. They have to beat Drake May.
Yeah, that's not that hard. I like Drake May. I like Drake May, but he ain't that guy.
Then FSU doesn't play UNC. Yeah.
Anyway, my pick. I was gonna pick Jordan Travis as well.
I think you said the guy that you were going to pick wasn't on the list.
Well, I'm talking about that's probably the number one guy I would pick on the list.
Can I guess who you're going to pick?
No, you can't because you'll guess right.
It's Devin Leary.
Devin Leary.
Oh, brother.
The best quarterback in the SEC.
Oh, my
hardest conference to play in. Name one better, Brent. I mean,
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
No.
Joe Milton.
I promise
I'll pick Joe
Milton. I promise you at the
Joe
end of the
Milton's
season,
way better, bro.
Yeah,
I promise you at the end of the season, we're going to look back and be like, Devin Leary was the best quarterback in the SEC.
I'm going to argue that Carson Beck is better than him.
Okay, well, that's wild.
Stupid.
He's
top 3, and he's not 3 or 2.
Some could argue that Spencer Rattler's better than him.
I like Spencer Rattler. Some could argue that
too, but he ain't better.
KJ Jefferson out of Arkansas.
I think we forget how good he was at NC State. Okay,
we don't forget. We just don't.
We just don't care.
They beat Clemson in Clemson's prime. NC State beat Clemson at Clemson. Let's just think about that, guys. I mean, how hard is that? That's pretty down hard. All right?
Nowadays, it looks pretty easy. They just let anyone.
Nowadays, I'm not saying that. I'm saying back in the day when Clemson used to be real good. Alabama.
Josh, the only problem I have with that is that, sure,
and in the
great
system
quarterback. Sure, NFL, I get it. But the only problem is I don't think this year Kentucky has enough talent on either side of the ball to listen. No, I think they're an underdog. I don't think they have enough talent to go. Oh, he's looking at me crazy now. He's shocked. I don't think they have enough talent to get enough wins to have him considered. I don't think so.
Nuts.
They're gonna go 9-3. They're gonna go 9-3, and that's not enough.
They're going to beat okay. I don't want to get off on a rant about Kentucky sports again. I didn't want to do this, okay? We have the best duo in college football on the outside. The wide receivers.
No, you do not. No, you do not. No, you do not. That is Ohio State by a mile.
We don't have the best player. Best player is Marvin Harrison Jr.
No. You do not have the best duo.
Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh!
Especially sophomore duo, like young duo that's not leaving next year. They're gonna be around a while. First of all, second of all, they are the best duo. Barry and Brown. I mean, I wouldn't take him over Marvin Harrison Jr., but I'd definitely take him over the second guy on Ohio State. I don't know what his name is. I forget. Okay.
Egbuka is just better. It's Emiko Egbuka.
No.
I don't know exactly
I'm
pronounce
sorry
his
to
name.
tell you, he's not better.
No,
Anyway,
they have the
sorry to
best
tell you,
duo.
he's not
Ohio
better.
State has the best duo.
I'm sorry to tell you. Okay. Say they're top three. Okay, he is.
No, they're
top
number
three
one.
duo.
It's not even a
No, I'm talking
question.
about UK, dumb.
Okay, sure, they're top
Say
three.
UK has a top three wide
sure.
receiver duo.
Yeah, but I also
definitely-
think that if I think FSU's wide receiver duo is better than Kentucky's.
No. Anyway,
I think so.
upgraded offensive line. He has weapons on the outside. He has Marcus Stewart defense is always good. Bold prediction here: we play Georgia close. We lose to Georgia. That'd be our first loss of the year. We play Tennessee really close. I think that's a toss-up game. I think we win that game at home.
Brother.
And I think we beat Alabama at home in Lexington. We either go 11-1 or we go 10-2.
Oh my, Brandon, help me.
Y'all watch out, man. I'm just letting y'all know right now.
Sure, they're underrated. I agree that they're underrated. There's no question about that. But there is a question about if they're the number one, which you originally stated, and then you back down.
Top three. Just call it top
They're not.
three.
I don't think they're top. I mean,
Maybe in the SEC.
borderline top three. Borderline top three. In the top in the SEC. Yeah. Oh God. It's
Name a better receiving core.
I'm looking at 10 of them.
I don't care, bro. I'm talking about. Have you not watched like any sports whatsoever?
Washington is ranked above y'all.
Washington.
They have good receivers.
They play in a terrible conference, my guy.
No, they don't. This year, the Pac-12 is stacked. The Pac-12 has never been better.
Not as much as the SEC.
Yeah, but the Pac-12 is the second best. Overall, out of terms of like competitiveness, the Pac-12 is more competitive than the Big Ten this year.
No.
Yes, it is.
Than the
Big Ten this year.
Yeah.
It's the second. It's the.
Please, Coleman.
I think it goes SEC, Big 12,
okay,
ACC.
Sure. I think Big 12 and Pac-12 are on the same level this year. I'm sorry. You have Utah, you have USC, you have Oregon, Washington, and I think that's insane. 4 teams that are actually Washington. They're all competitive.
Washington's that good. I think overhyped because who they are. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they also have Washington State, Oregon State, who could always upset.
We were supposed to be talking about Heisman predictions.
Okay, yeah, we get off on it.
We kind of got off on it
Again.
We kind of got off on it.
Coleman's fault.
What? You're the Kentucky guy.
Coleman's the one trying to make me mad, bro.
Okay, listen. My pick for Heisman is Jordan Travis, but Caleb Williams is a close second, in my opinion. Very close second.
I think it's already written in the script. He's going to win it again, boy.
I don't know.
Sadly,
questionable. Okay, and then Josh, who's your pick? Number 1.
Devin Leary. I'll pick Devin Leary.
Oh,
I'm sticking with it, man. Y'all gonna be like hating on me whenever it rolls around and he's invited to New York.
Oh my God. Invited to New York to work a janitor position at the local high school. That's what he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be selling cars in New York. That's the only invite he's getting. Brandon, who's your pick?
Bro thinks he's funny, bro.
My pick's Drake May or Blake Corum, bro.
Okay. All right. Well, those are our picks for Heisman. Now let's move on to playoff predictions for college football. And also, before we do so, each of you guys, give me your thoughts on the expansion next year to 12 teams.
Bro, I've been saying that since I was a wee little lad that they should make more than 4 teams. It just didn't make sense to me because in the NFL they had so many teams. And since I was like 8, I've been saying this. I think it's great. They might have like some bums make it like Kentucky sometimes, but hey.
Yeah.
We've got to say they made it to the playoffs. So
yeah, it'll definitely mean less making it to the playoffs. I mean, right now the NY6 bowls will just be like pretty much what the playoffs will be. So I mean, all the NY6 bowl teams will be in the playoffs. It's definitely. What you say?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say it'll definitely mean less to be in the playoffs, but it's harder to progress because there's gonna be rounds and stuff like that. And,
I think it makes it more interesting because 12 teams is like there are 12 good teams.
Yeah, and I think it will be rough on teams like Georgia and Alabama who have Mickey schedules for the most part, and then play well for 2 games and win the whole thing. But now they're gonna have to play, I think, 3 games at the very minimum. If let's say they get the top seed, I think they have to play 3 games, right?
I think so.
At the very at the very minimum. That's assuming they get a top thing. I could be wrong. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm right. They'll have to play 3 games, including the championship. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm a fan of it. Josh, are you a fan?
I think I'm gonna like it, and the only reason is because the Final Four is all gonna be SEC teams. I'm calling it now. The first year, it's gonna be all SEC. Everybody's gonna be mad. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, dude, we can't allow SEC teams to be in it all the time." Yada yada yada. But it's the best games. Let's be real. I mean, we see what Georgia just did to a good TCU team that just beat Michigan. You know, that Michigan team that's trash. You know what I'm saying? And we see what Georgia did to TCU in the championship. Could you imagine what they'd have done to Michigan?
I don't think the transitive property works that way. That transitive property
Michigan would have never recovered, bro.
Yeah, our fault. Michigan lost both their running backs, Josh. That's
all the circumstances were a bit cloudy. Okay, that's all I'll say.
I'm just saying, Georgia would have killed Michigan.
Sure,
Michigan
Georgia was by and far the best team last year. By and far, easily. No question.
But who played them close? Did we even remember that, or are we gonna forget that? Who played them close?
Let's think. Alabama A&M. No, who played them close, Josh? Let's see.
Kentucky played them close.
All right, I just wanted to hear it. Actually, I don't.
What? Kentucky would have beat TCU.
Okay. Let's stop. Okay.
Everything rolls back to Kentucky, bro. You can be
every single time.
Josh is like, you know what?
The weather in Lexington is really nice. Yeah.
Kentucky. And you know what? We have the best football program in the nation.
Hey, it's getting there.
Oh my God.
Hey, in the next decade.
No, stop. I don't want to hear it.
We there.
In the next decade, what actually? I want to hear it kind of.
We there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be.
Are y'all ranked top 25 this year?
No,
they be hating on us, bro.
Oh my God.
No, they for real hating, bro. It's because Will Levis had a bad year last year and we had a bad offensive line. This year, new offensive line, new offensive coordinator, better quarterback. Dude.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. All right.
I want to build Mark Stoops.
College football playoff this year, 4 teams. The final college football playoff with 4 teams. Run it. Who's your teams, Josh? Which 4?
I think Georgia makes it. I don't know if they'll be number 1 or not. I don't know.
Do it in order. Let's do it in order here.
Okay. We'll put Georgia at 1. They don't lose a game. I'm gonna put FSU at 2.
Really?
They don't lose a game.
Okay,
that's my prediction. They don't lose a game.
Okay. I have some things to say about that.
That's if they don't lose a game. I'm predicting they don't. So,
okay.
And then 3 will be Michigan. And then 4, I don't know. I can't put LSU because they would have had to lose twice to Georgia. I mean, they would have had to lose twice to FSU and Georgia.
Okay, good thought process here. I like it.
So,
for the most part,
I would like to put another SEC team in there because I know that's the better team out of everybody else.
Someone cooked here.
Don't say it. He's smiling right now. He's thinking about it, but you can't say no.
A 1-loss Kentucky team.
Oh my God!
Could you imagine though?
No,
a only loss would be to Georgia.
A 1-loss Ohio State team would make it over a 1-loss Kentucky team.
I agree. I think they'll put Ohio State in there.
Okay, so you have Georgia, FSU, Michigan, and Ohio State. Brandon, do you mind if I go while I have it on the top of my head, or do you want to go?
Go first, man.
Okay, this is the problem I have with that, and I think those are 4 teams that could easily make it. The number one problem I have with that is that FSU, as much as I love them, cannot physically go into the top 2 unless the top 5 teams lose 2 games or more because of the way that who they play. FSU schedule besides Clemson and LSU is Mickey Mouse. They don't play no one, or they don't play anyone. I mean, let's use proper grammar. And the reason why that makes no sense for them to be in number 2 is because even if they go 12-0, they can't be number 2 because I think there's going to be a team that has 1 loss like Ohio State or Michigan, and they'll value that because they play a harder schedule or whatever. I think they'll value that more than that. But okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only reason I put them at number 2 is because of their national standing. I feel like if the voters are gonna be like FSU is a bigger brand, especially if they're undefeated.
FSU's not a bigger brand than any of those teams that you mentioned.
But if they're undefeated, though, that's what I'm saying. Though,
I guess
FSU football
TCU was undefeated, and they play in a stacked Big 12 somewhat stacked Big 12, not as stacked as this year, but a pretty decent Big 12 conference. TCU is completely undefeated.
Yeah, no, but you got to think, especially if LSU does good and they beat LSU, that's a big thing. And then Clemson has a big name. I don't think they're that good, but
they'll have to have a dominant season, Clemson and LSU by at least 3 scores, and also those teams have to go 11-1. And then
I could drop FSU down to 3 or 4.
I'd say that they can't make 2. It's not feasible for them to make 1 and 2. But that's just my optics from looking into,
I agree. I mean, honestly,
like that.
The way you put it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like I feel like if I'm a voter, I'm putting FSU over Michigan State and Michigan and Ohio because Michigan and Ohio State because they haven't made the playoffs before. It's a bigger deal for them to make it, and
they've made the play. They made the first college football playoff against Oregon. They got smoked by like 30 points.
Yeah. That's true, but what was I gonna say? It doesn't matter if they make 2 or 3; they're still gonna play the same game. I just don't think they put them at 4.
Yeah.
According to Josh's list, he has Georgia playing Ohio State, and he has FSU playing Michigan.
Yeah, FSU's gonna smoke Michigan too.
FSU has played Michigan before, and I think I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, I could be wrong.
That'd be an amazing game to watch.
That'd be real. What'd you say?
Yeah, because you wouldn't lose, Brandon.
Yeah. Someone fact checked me here, or someone on it. I'm pretty sure FSU's all-time record against Michigan is 3-2 or 3-1. They played.
I think it's 3-1. I think
3-1.
You're right.
Something like that. Yeah. I think FSU has an all-time lead against Michigan, 3-1, which is
2-1.
2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I those wins might have come at unopportune times for Michigan, or not the best times, but maybe in the 90s when FSU was booming, or
booming.
Yeah, something like that. But I still think it's notable that it's not like Michigan has FSU's numbers, so I think that'd be a cool game. Brennan, what's your top 4?
Wait, what was yours?
Oh, did I not? Oh, I didn't even say mine. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't.
You were going first, man.
I have Ohio State number 1. I have Ohio State number 1, and I don't want to provide reasoning because you guys aren't even going to listen to it.
No, I'm going to listen.
Okay, well let me list out the whole 4. So I have Ohio State, then I have Georgia, then I have Alabama, and then I have FSU sneaking in at 4. Wait, Josh,
I like that.
You
like that list.
Yeah, Ohio State, Georgia.
I just don't like that Ohio State at 1.
Okay, I mean that's debatable. I think Georgia will have 1 loss. I think Alabama will have
championship.
Yeah, no, not in the championship. I think they're gonna have a loss early. I don't think the teams are gonna do as well early. They're gonna have an early loss.
Wait, Georgia loses to who early?
I think that they might lose to Kentucky. I hate to say it. I think they'll lose to Kentucky. But it's not like a. But at the same time, I think they'll lose to Kentucky. I don't think Kentucky's gonna have. They're gonna have 9 wins, so they're not gonna be a team where the committee's gonna look and be like, hey, they really, I think it's gonna be a game where it's just like a fluke game for Georgia, and they'll still be ranked high. They can still go as number 2, as long as other things fall in place and depending how they win each of their games. But it's definitely gonna be interesting, I think. But that if you guys did, I don't know, you may not have caught on, but the 4 teams I listed, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, and FSU, what do they all have in common? Anyone?
Red in their logo.
Yes, that's actually it. I think that this will be.
It?
I think this will be an all-red college football playoff. And I don't know if you want to consider FSU's colors red. I think it's like more like garnet, but
garnet.
Yeah.
Garnet and gold.
Hey, right here, I'm wearing the shirt, garnet.
Class of 2026.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my top 4. And then as for the things, I think unfortunately Ohio State will beat FSU. And then I think Georgia will beat Alabama, and then it'll be a.
I didn't make my prediction.
I think. Or we can go back. I think it'll be an Ohio State, Georgia final where Georgia will three-peat.
Okay. I also have Georgia three-peating. I think FSU milli-wops Michigan into the next century, and then Georgia beats Ohio State.
And then Georgia FSU.
Georgia beats.
Oh
FSU.
My dude, that would make my year. I don't care.
No, could you imagine when FSU? I'm put this out there now. When FSU wins the Natty, like when we're in school, we're gonna have to go out there and burn some couches, bro.
We're gonna have to do something. Cars. We're gonna be flipping cars, burning, creating potholes. Yeah, we're gonna be locked up for sure. But yeah, I that would make my. I don't care if I got hit by a car and my life ended the next day. That would complete me. I'm sorry. That'd make my life, bro. That would make my life. And if I went to the game, that'd make. Oh my Jesus Lord.
No, I wouldn't want to be at the game. I'd want to be in Tallahassee when it
Oh,
happens.
dude. Oh,
Dude,
it would
could
go
you
wild.
imagine,
It would
bro?
go crazy. All right,
The
we're
fountain would have to be taken out, bro.
yeah,
The fountain's
yeah, it would be
gone.
crazy. Brandon, let's hear your top 4 teams for the college football playoff.
I got Georgia at number 1, just because obviously, I mean, losing Stetson Bennett isn't like losing, God.
It's like losing your average fast food employee, like if you're a restaurant manager.
Like at Raising Cane's.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Michigan.
Oh my God.
God, jeez.
Just because, I mean, our
Yeah,
competition is really just Ohio State and Penn State, really.
Yeah, it's too
Until a couple
formidable
years when we
foes.
play USC and UCLA, I mean, that'll be cool. But
UCLA won't do nothing. But
I mean, yeah, USC.
yeah, it's USC, Oregon, and Washington are going to be rough if you guys play them. Okay, keep going.
And then for number 3, I don't think Ohio State does that good. I don't think Alabama does good either. Hear me out. No, I can't do this. This is tough. I'm gonna have to go FSU 3.
Wow.
And then the Trojans at the 4.
Whoa. I have a thing to say about that. The Trojans of USC?
No.
What?
Yeah.
The Navy or no, the San Jose Trojans? I think they're the same who they played.
Trojans of USC, bro.
Okay, listen. And then who do you have? Okay, keep going. I don't want to interrupt you. And then
That was just 4. That was the
I know,
4.
but who's gonna win? Who's gonna play each other? Yeah.
Georgia kills USC.
Yeah, murders. But it will never happen because they won't go. Okay.
Michigan obviously beats the shit out of Florida State.
Oh,
And
dude,
You
you're
go
an
to
FSU
Florida State,
student.
brother.
You can't say that. That's like
being,
banned.
I'm just being realistic, bro.
I'm
Like
telling all your
Blake
teachers, bro.
Corum runs all over our line. Like Jared Verse is just getting double teamed.
You're
and
nuts,
there's
bro.
a bunch of no ones.
This
And
is
then
ridiculous.
I think Georgia beats Michigan.
Okay, there you go.
God, he's finally realistic in something in life.
Okay.
So why not USC, Coleman?
Okay, well, the problem I have with USC is, everyone goes on their defense. And I some people say, it's going to develop. Their defense is going to develop, and they're going to be great come time of, where everything starts to matter in conference play when they play. But it's just not going to come together. Their defense is horrific. If you and I know it's the first game, it's week 0. If you let San Jose State make it a contest at halftime, you're buns, man. And I can't get over the fact that they had that happen. So for me right now, USC is just not even close. They can compete to the level where it's just enough for if Caleb Williams wanted to make another Heisman push, it would be considered, acceptable for their team. Their record's probably going to be, they're probably going to have a 10-win season, maybe an 11 if they get lucky. How about this? I'll say they'll go 10-2 before the bowl game. I think they're going to lose to.
Who do they lose to?
Oregon, Washington. I think they lose to both.
I think they beat Washington. I think they lose another one, though, along the way. I don't know who else they play.
Washington's at home. Oregon's away. They play Utah at home.
Yeah, there's another tough games. But I think it's Oregon and Washington. But yeah, I don't think that they're going to get it done.
Okay.
And
I couldn't put LSU in there because Georgia would have to beat them.
Yeah, LSU has a tough
beat them. And then Ohio State, they just have Marvin Jones Jr. I don't know who they got throwing to him. And then Alabama.
Marvin Harrison? Marvin Harrison?
My fault, bro. My fault.
Say it again.
Marvin Harrison Jr. And then Alabama just has Jalen Milroe is not bad, but I don't even know if he's starting.
Yeah.
So.
He's either him or Ty Simpson.
I think they haven't announced it yet, have they? I haven't seen any updates.
I think they played 2 quarterback systems, to be honest.
But hey, I have to go back. I think I said this last time. But when Nick Saban walks into the media day or whatever it was, and he's smiling his ass off, I think that's not a good sign for the rest of the SEC and whoever.
I just don't see it. I know they got a lot of talent, but it's not what's it called? Proven talent yet, man.
Sure, but
their secondary is really young.
I think I saw it not a lot more than half of the time that Saban's won his championships has been with a first-year quarterback who's never played before.
Yeah, but I just don't see Ty Simpson being that guy, bro. I watched him in the spring game. He's just not that dude. And
Yeah, all the spring games were terrible.
And I mean, he threw 2 or 3 picks, bro. And then Milroe, he can just run. I don't know if he could actually throw the ball very well.
And it is interesting. Alabama was reaching out to so they weren't confident in those guys. They were reaching out to about Sam Hartman.
Yeah.
They wanted to get him locked in. I saw that he talked about that. So yeah, there's definitely some uncertainty with the quarterbacks to a level we haven't seen in quite a while. Just because there's a lot of new quarterbacks. But
yeah, especially with this transfer portal stuff, you know.
Yeah, definitely a lot of uncertainty. But yeah, that's my Those are our predictions for the college football playoff. I had
You had Georgia, right?
Did I say Georgia?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
I had Ohio State beating FSU, and then I had Georgia, Alabama, and then Georgia. Yeah, Georgia 3 beating. Yeah, I had Georgia.
And then I had Georgia, and then Brandon had Georgia. So we all picked Georgia to win it.
Yeah, we all picked Georgia to win.
I'll change my answer to Florida State.
There you go.
Okay,
Be
buddy.
different. USC is not going to make the college football playoff, and I'll die on that hill.
All right, boys. It's that time of year again. It's fantasy football season, and this year, the Wildcards crew, we're doing our first annual fantasy football league. It's on ESPN Fantasy. As of right now, it's a 20-man because that's the max, and we have 10 spots left. The draft is September 2nd at 6:30.
Central Time.
Yeah, Central Time for those who are in different time zones. We have the link in our link tree, and then we will also be posting on our IG story link there too. Anything Josh and Coleman want to say?
They just got to take all these subscribers about to take L's. You know,
yeah, you all got
champ.
Hey, the winner, $25, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Cash, whatever you need, right to your front doorstep.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost to pay. Just winner, just get
no entry fee. Just join up, have some fun. You know, pick some games, and we'll have a great time. So yeah, make sure to join up.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to review the games of last week. I say unfortunately because I didn't do so hot. All right,
nobody did hot.
Yeah, no one did hot. Josh came in at 5-7-1. I'll explain the tie in a second. And Brandon came in at 4-8-1. And I came in at 3-9-1. You know, we don't talk about it. I guess we are talking about it, but okay. So for those of you who didn't know, the Falcons versus Bengals, or Bengals at the Falcons, was one of the games we picked last week, and that game actually ended in a tie. So NFL preseason game, you don't really care. It's not like the playoffs, so that was a tie. So that's one extra tie we have in the win-loss tie column. And yeah, let's go over the games for next week.
So I just want to put this out here for the viewers. Coleman, when was the last time the Ravens lost a preseason game?
It had been 6 years, I'm pretty sure.
6 years. And the first time Coleman brings it up, and we all picked the Ravens.
Guess what they did?
They lose.
They lost, and I didn't think they were going to do it, but you guys called it. You guys called that they were. I think it was Brandon who called that it was going to happen, that I was going to jinx it, and I jinxed it, and then they lost 2 in a row, right?
Yeah,
They lost their last 2 games. I'm pretty sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so. It's the Coleman curse.
Yeah, it's for real. That's why Minnesota sports are not doing so well.
Yeah, that's why they suck. But yeah, I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen, for jinxing if Ravens are your team. But what can you do? So let's talk about the games for next week. Starting off on Friday, we have the Yankees at the Astros, and we all have the Astros. Another game on Friday, we got the Blue Jays at the Rockies. We all have the Blue Jays. And then next game on Friday, or the last game on Friday, we have the Braves at the Dodgers. And Josh and I have the Braves, but Brandon has the Dodgers. Brandon, why would you choose the Dodgers over the Braves and Morgan Wallen?
That's honestly a good question, Coleman. But I mean, the Dodgers, these are like the 2 best teams. This is probably be like the NL championship and the NL. These are the 2 best teams, maybe the 2 best teams in all of baseball right now. I mean, stats don't lie, Coleman. But I went with the Dodgers just because, I believe this is the first game. It's a 3-game series. I believe they'll win at least 2 because they have home field advantage. And so, I mean, the Dodgers are just going to win this one. There's no explanation needed.
All right. Bold claim. Games on Saturday, we got the Cubs at the Reds. Brendan and I have the Reds. Josh, why do you have the Cubs over Ellie De La Cruz?
I just love the Cubs' history, and I root for the Cubs when I can. They're not my team, but I mean, they're a decent team, and I root for them. So,
All right. Mariners at the Mets. Oh,
no, let me do this one. Hold on. Okay, so what day is it? Saturday. Also, we have the Mariners at the Mets. The boys picked against the great pitching staff of the Mets. I don't know what's up with them today, but we all know I picked the Mets because of their amazing pitching staff. They're just ballers, and Mets pitching staff we trust.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Next game on Saturday, we got the Marlins at the Nationals. We have Brandon and Josh picked the Nationals. I picked the Marlins just because the Nationals are just terrible. The Marlins, I just have a feeling, man. This game, I just really have a feeling that the Marlins are going to pull through. I don't like Miami teams, but go Marlins for this one. Next on Sunday, do you want to do them, Brandon?
I got it, man.
All right.
On Sunday, we have the Giants at the Padres. We all went with the Padres. Probably no explanation needed there. They pay 4 people almost $1 billion, so I'd hope they win a couple of games. And we have the Rays at the Guardians. We all went with the Rays. That one's probably not needs an explanation either. I mean, the Rays are just one of the best teams in the AL, so and the Guardians just know to throw punches.
Good one.
On Monday, we have the Brewers at the Pirates. We all went with the Brewers. I'm starting to think y'all are copying my games here.
I picked first.
I'm just kidding, bro. It's the obvious pick. They're winning in the NL. Winning in the NL Central. And then we have the Astros at the Rangers. Battle of Texas, some would say. These two teams are one of the hottest teams in the AL, both of the hottest teams in the AL West besides the Mariners. They're all tied, I believe. It's 75 wins. One might have 74. But I think we all chose the Rangers.
Yeah.
Why not?
Huh?
I said because why not choose the Rangers?
All right. So Tuesday, we have the Dodgers at the Marlins. Me and Brandon went the obvious choice with the Dodgers. Coleman's being Coleman and picking the Marlins.
Marlins are hot. I'm going with the Marlins this week. That's my team this week. My team of the week, like the Madden set.
Okay.
Then we also have the Mariners, not to get confused with the Marlins, at the Reds. I think we all went Mariners here.
Yep.
I don't know why'd you go Mariners, Brandon?
Because they're one of the hottest teams in MLB right now, I believe.
Yeah, that was my reasoning too. I
9-1
Brandon
in the last 10. I mean, the Reds, not bad, but they haven't done. They kind of fell off.
Yeah, they fell off. The hype is definitely dwindling.
And then our last game of the week, Wednesday, Phillies at Padres. We all went Phillies. Me personally, I didn't pick the Padres because they made the 98 Braves fall short of a World Series, and I hold that against them today.
All right, man.
98 Braves.
But yeah, we all picked the Phillies. All right, those are the games for this week. I want to thank everyone for showing out today to this edition of the Wildcards Podcast. Once again, great podcast. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. Make sure to join the Wildcards Fantasy Football League and also follow all of our social medias. All of that can be found in the Instagram show Wildcards. In the description, or in the bio, there's a link tree. You can click that and catch up with all of our stuff. Without further ado, I want to thank all of you for showing out. Peace. Have a great rest of your week.
See you guys.
Peace.
Peace.